artist events tonight here at University of the Cumberlands. We have a wonderful piano guest artist, Greg Partain from Transylvania University. He's going to be coming here, sharing some of his wisdom and experience with our University of the Cumberlands piano students. And then he's going to be playing a fantastic recital that's going to happen after that at 7:30. I heard him practicing in here, and oh my goodness, he's making this piano sound absolutely beautiful. So I hope you all will stay with us through both of these events. So first we have the master class, and we're going to be hearing 3 different pieces. First, we're going to hear a piece by the legendary pedagogue, Nancy Faber. We're going to hear another great pedagogical piece, the Jazz Sonatina by Robert Vandal, and then we'll hear a Chopin Nocturne. So we have 3 wonderful students and 3 wonderful performances, and I hope that everybody gets something meaningful out of this event. So, well, yes, absolutely. I'll turn it over to our guest artist. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and to hear students. You know, teaching is what we do, isn't it? We pass it on. I just wanted to say one thing about my kind of philosophy about a master class is it's like a workshop, totally exploratory, and you know, in a sense, every time we perform, it's a work in progress, because we know the next time we perform, it's going to grow, it's going to change, and so on. So this is very much like just pulling back the curtain and experimenting. So that's what we'll do. And if there's something that works for you now or later on that we talked about, wonderful. If there's something we try out here and it never does quite work for you, I wouldn't fret about it. And most of all, always do what your teacher says instead of what the guest teacher says. That's a wise philosophy of life. So do we have an order yet? Why don't we go ahead and decide an order?
Yes, let's hear the Nancy Faber pantomime, and then the Jazz Sonatina, and then the Chopin. So our first performer is Megan Tabor with Pantomime by Nancy Faber.
Great. Thanks. And I just put my pencil and tablet somewhere. Where did I put that? Ah, there we go.
If not, I've got a backup.
I'm good. And thank you for having the courage to step up on the stage with no one but you and the bright lights and piano that plays with me. So tell me about your experience playing piano, first of all.
I've been playing since I was in middle school.
Since middle school.
Yeah.
Okay, were you taking lessons? And
I did, yeah. I started out taking lessons from, actually it's our own choir teacher. at
from
my
your
high
choir
school.
teacher? Okay,
Yeah, she wasn't my choir teacher, but she's my mom's. So
okay.
I started out with her and just played like simple stuff. And we have like little recitals and stuff.
Sure. Do you play any other instruments or do you sing in the choir?
I'm learning the guitar.
Okay, great.
Other than that.
Yeah. So just what's the main reason that you want to play piano in your life? Or is it something you really can see yourself doing for the rest of your life?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, ever since I was little, I have been so interested in piano. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love it. I love music.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I want to see myself playing.
Yeah. Well, for some of us, it just grabs us and
Yeah.
we don't have to say why, it just does. Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad to know that a little bit. And then, how long have you been playing this piece?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay. All right. You know, sometimes I like to start, especially with students I don't know, just asking if there's anything in particular about it that you would like some help with, or that is giving you challenges.
It was really kind of challenging. All of it was just, not really the most challenging, but it was really difficult. I think the most, like the thing I had the most difficulty with was like making it like really loud,
Mm.
like certain parts of it.
Yeah, because there's a place marked with double F,
Yeah.
the big climax. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably like,
So just kind of pulling more sound out of the piano.
yeah.
Are you happy with like what you did today in that respect?
Yeah, I think I played it louder than what I had been.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well that's a really interesting thing to talk about. And of course you're playing grand, which is probably a louder piano than maybe you usually play, so that's built in. But this is a really magical thing. It's got, as many years as I've been playing, it continues to have secrets that I find. And so, you know, it's like this puzzle. You're unlocking parts of it all the time. So I suspect you could still play much louder. And also, what about playing softly? Have you found it a challenge to get soft enough?
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably the first thing that we could talk about is how to play softer softs. And then since you mentioned it, we'll see about playing louder louds. Let's try the very opening, which is marked P. Piano. Not the softest you can play, but almost. Let's try that. Yeah. Is that softer than what you played? Yeah, I think it is. So sometimes the dynamic that we're after is sometimes, it's not a technical thing, it's just a mental thing. You have to want it and you have to intend it, and then it's going to happen properly. I wonder if you could get a little crisper sound. Let's try that. Yeah, so how did you get that sound physically?
It's all in the fingers.
It's in the fingertips, isn't it? Yeah, because you plucked more. And I don't know whether you were conscious of it, or maybe just because that's what I did. But let's try it one more time. Sure, sure. So it's really a matter of a lot of concentration and wanting that sound and that effect. Okay, let's do a little of the melody, which is marked mezzo piano, and the passage is marked mezzo piano. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just do the first two measures of it, the right hand one. Yeah. Great, that's it, that's our theme. Okay, so the passage is marked mezzo piano, but that doesn't mean that we play every note mezzo piano, right? Because usually music making demands a lot more than that, good music making. So the first first thing is the accompaniment should probably be softer than the melody, right? So if you see a passage marked mezzo piano, maybe your melody can be mezzo piano, sometimes even mezzo forte, but maybe pianissimo in the left hand. So let's see if you can get a real difference between hands, just in that first two measures. What do you think? I'm going to have a poker face. Were you successful? You know, I definitely heard some glimmers of the melody now speaking out above the accompaniment, but it was kind of like this. Let's see if you can do this and that. Good luck. That was more consistent. That was definitely more consistent. Can I sit down for a second? It's a bigger difference, right? Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, so you're moving in that direction. How did you get that? How did I get that? How do we get a different sound in each hand?
It's kind of hard for me because like I can't be softer
Yeah, it's
and
hard.
louder than the other.
Yeah, it's hard. It's one of the basic challenges. You know, when you're a flutist, no offense to flutists, you're just playing your line. But when the pianist, you're playing sometimes the whole orchestra.
That's why I think that piano can't be harder. It's a,
Yeah, I mean,
any instrument played is hard.
yeah,
Anything is hard.
every instrument has its challenges, and to be world class is hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But anyway, so so you said it was a very simple thing, very fundamental, but essential to keep in mind. To get a different sound, you've got to do something physically that's different with each hand, right? So why don't we try this? I can sit down again. With your left hand, as you said, it's all on your fingertips. With the right hand, it's a little more this. So think of it just a little like this, so that you're getting this effect. Let's do the right hand by itself, and just enjoy that it's a little more physical. There you go. There you go. That's it. That's good. Okay, one more time. Ready? Go. Great. Okay, let's try it. Great. Now, can you keep this just a little more right there? Let's try it by itself. Yes. Very little motion going on there. Let's try it. Try to play a little more on the surface of the keys. So that instead of going that, just kind of barely tapping. There you go. There you go. And then very, physical with the right hand. Go ahead. There you go. Okay, that's fine. So you can work on that. And there's one last trick that I can suggest to you. Try playing the left hand silently once. There you go. Great. Now let's go ahead and try this passage. Left hand silent. The right hand playing it out. Right. Try the right hand. Well, yeah, but it kind of unleashes something, I think. Right side of your brain is controlling the left hand and so on. Let's stick with this just for another 30 seconds. Let's try the silent left hand and really playing out that right hand. Plus physical moves. There you go. There you go. Okay, you mentioned about the loud parts, so let's go ahead to where it's supposed to crash and bang.
And just to make a note, just a few minutes left.
Okay, like 2 minutes?
Yeah, 2-3 minutes.
Okay. Is that the loudest spot? Okay, well, I guess I was wrong. I thought there was a spot that was marked with 2 Fs, but this is a sforzando. So let's hear those couple. Oh yeah, there's the double F. Okay, let's try those 2 measures. Yeah. Okay. Can you play it louder?
Yeah, that wasn't that great.
I think you did a louder a minute ago. That's definitely louder. That's definitely louder. You know, one thing, you're using the weakest finger, 5th finger on this. Let's try it. What's your strongest finger? Could be index. Most people say 3. Let's try 3. And now let's just do that 3 with just that note. One more time. Yeah, okay, that's good. So you're playing from the air and dropping. Try starting on the note and then springing up. Yeah, now let's try springing it, believe it or not, all the way up to here. Just for practice. So you're going to do this. Yes. Yeah, let's do it again. Good. So you're coming up to here. What would it feel like if you did it so hard that you slapped my hand? Let's try it. Yeah, you can slap it on. There. There you go. See, I think you can make more sound. Okay, let's try it with pedal and just spring off of it. Yeah. So not from the air, but right from the note. Okay, here's one other thing you can try is to go that. So that's maybe hold on, yeah, but then come on. Okay, so there are ways. We've got to wrap up in a second. Yes, now.
Yeah.
But I would say that on a spot like that. It's possible to do. But I don't know. I think if you learn how to use, you can get a lot of strength.
I think that's like the big problem. I can't do that very
It's not even really a matter of strength. It's a matter of unlocking your reflex, your fast twitch muscles. So, okay, I guess we've got to move on. Thank you very much. There you go. So we're going to hear some jazz.
Something like that.
Isaac Children is going to be playing the first movement of the Jazz Santina by Robert Vandal.
Would you like a copy of the
Yes, I would. Thanks.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, I was moved by that lyrical section. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
That was Jazz Sonatina Sans about half of the middle section.
You know what?
But
Only you and I knew. So, well, let me ask you the same question. What's your experience with piano?
So I took lessons for a little while, probably around the second or third grade, strongly rebelled against my teacher. And so kind of just left it alone for a little while.
Yeah.
And then picked it up again, I'd say 12, 13 years old, and just learned by ear and didn't want anything to do with sheet music. And
Yeah.
played that way for a long time. Did hymns and stuff that I heard in church and stuff.
Yeah.
And then coming here, I figured I'd take advantage of an excellent opportunity to be taught by an excellent teacher and learn some actual sight reading and stuff.
And you're building on everything you learned on your own, all your training and everything. That's great. Yeah.
So sometimes I got to build around it because I didn't do things quite right.
Well,
Building on, building around.
it happens.
One way or the other.
Yeah, that's right. Well, again, let me ask the same question. If there's anything specific that you've been grappling with,
Yeah.
or anything that's not coming out quite the way you want it to.
Honestly, the lyrical section, where it says,
Cantabile, did I say
the
that?
one.
Yes, singingly.
I can't, there it is there on one. I thought that was further on
Yeah.
down the line. But I've been having trouble getting it to sound right, especially on this piano. You know, the upper range is a little bit
It's
soft.
uneven.
And it can come across, you know, a little bit muted sometimes.
So you're thinking, what you've been struggling to do is to get the melody to sing?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So do you think it's a matter of volume?
Perhaps so. Melody, bringing out the melody from the first master class that I did here. That was his thing.
Yeah.
It was great, but everything's the same volume. And that's kind of my
Yeah.
Achilles heel.
Okay, well, sometimes there's a counterintuitive solution to that, which is not to play out the melody more, but to play the accompaniment less.
Okay.
And if you get, really good control of this water that the melody, the boat is floating on, often you don't have to work so hard with the melody. It can come out smoother, it can sing more singing. I think that's the case here. So let's take a look at that. Where's that passage start?
Just right here.
Okay.
I'll measure
And then it
the
goes to
19.
where's the next page?
Two. Go to, 32.
Okay, so why don't you play a couple of lines of it just so everybody remembers what it is. Sure, that's really a lovely little section, isn't it? Okay, so let's do the left hand by itself. Okay, so do you mean to be doing 1, 2, 1, 2, like that? You didn't do it so much when you just did left hand by itself, which kind of was a clue to me that, yeah, what you're really after is more of this placid thing.
Yeah.
Let's try it with both hands again, and we'll be listening and see if you discover something. Yeah, so fairly consistently that's happening.
Yeah.
So let's try it again now that you're really aware of that. And the left hand, every chord is just going to be the same motion, whatever motion works for you, no matter what's happening with your right hand. Yeah, it's a lot better. It's a lot better. Can I sit down and try it? Please do. Were you using the soft pillow?
No,
I wasn't telling them to sing.
Just this is-
Okay, so that's softer, isn't it? firmness and relaxation in your fingers that allow you to feel that action. Try moving slowly. There you go. As slow, as sluggishly as possible. Yeah,
Sorry, I lost where I was.
that's right.
I'm not used to playing with just one hand.
You know, it's very beautiful. Okay, now let's do just the right hand by itself with, oh, will it? Okay. Let's see. Let's try it one more time. Da, da, da. Not too much, right? There you go. It also might sound a little more lyrical if you don't accent the last the syncopated note. Da, 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 da,
Okay.
da, 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 but this. Da, 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 da.
Not accented enough.
Right, but let's try it. There you go. That's really quite beautiful. Okay, let's see if you can put it all together. If you're 60% successful, we'll be happy.
We'll call it a win.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Nice. Anyway, I think you're on the road.
Yes, sir.
What does it sound like?
60%.
I think.
It definitely sounds better.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so let's leave the lyrical stuff. Let's talk about the rhythmical stuff. And is there anything in there that you've been struggling with?
I think beforehand, there's a. I hadn't been playing this staccato, it's written in this one. And so when I went in to correct that, in my mind, I started to make things that weren't staccatos
Oh,
act
okay,
like
so some
staccatos.
articulation.
So I don't know if that was readily apparent, but definitely something that I have noticed in my
Yeah,
practice.
okay. I honestly didn't notice that.
Oh,
I don't know. Whatever,
Nice.
whatever. But I'll tell you what I did notice. To
Okay.
me, remember when you're playing a grand especially, these bass notes are really loud. I
okay,
think your left hand is louder than it needs to be.
okay.
Most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of the time, I was more aware of the left hand than the right.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, think of what's marked here, this piano, like I was talking with Megan about it, that probably means the right hand is going to be mezzo piano at least, crescendoing to forte, but the left hand, not so much.
Yeah.
There's a little, you know what that mark is on top? The
No.
line is a tenuto, Italian word, which just means not short, you know, it's held a little bit. So you're doing that great. But then, you know, a staccato in a piano context. Yeah. So let's try the left hand. You can do it by yourself. By itself. long notes are a landmine for musicians.
Oh, really?
We all tend to start thinking ahead and cutting short. While we're talking landmines, slightly different topic, but so you did have a memory slip.
Yes, indeed.
Where exactly did that happen?
It was here on the very, very bottom measure, 42.
Okay.
The bottom of 2. I'm supposed to play this. It's like the loudest it gets, right? It's the
Yeah.
biggest. Go to F. Right. And then I'm supposed to go to that part.
And where did you go instead?
I just went right back into. I don't know. Where did I go?
You know, I'm not sure either. At that point, I realized, I said, well, I was just going to listen. But, okay, it's a very typical danger spot when you have a piece that does something and then it goes to somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe it does the same thing again
Mm.
and then goes somewhere else. Is that the case in this piece?
Yeah, I suppose so. Especially because for the longest time I've been playing it and paying no heed to the rizzio, the fermatas, or
Yeah.
anything like that, and I just kind of blow right through it.
Okay.
And so now to say, okay, slow down.
And see where I am.
And that was a development just this past
Yeah.
Tuesday, I think it was.
Okay.
So doing that muscle memory
Yeah.
did, and then
So the first thing, takeaway, is don't take that slip for granted and say, oh, it won't happen again. You've got to try to dig in and say, where exactly did I lose my train of thought?
okay.
And where did I go where I was not supposed to go? So that way you use this opportunity as a learning opportunity. In a way, you're kind of grateful that you had it in a low-stakes performance like this, rather than on a music jury or public performance or something. So that's one thing. But another is, and I don't know if that's the case in this piece, but very often music will, as I said, it'll take you to a place in the music, and then it goes somewhere, and then it might take you back to that same place where you're supposed to go somewhere else. And I've heard even world-class artists mix those spots up.
Gotcha.
So those are places as you're learning the piece to just pay very special care to. And you can even play this little line game where a measure or two before you're telling yourself, I'm not going to tell myself where I'm going to go. And then you say, okay, I'll do the first one. And you practice doing that. And then you just kind of go through that junction several times. The other place, you had a little, and this is not to pick on you because we've all had memory slips, but you had a little memory slip in the last line, or the last line and a half.
And I didn't even realize that. Yeah, where's that on?
We got just a minute or two left.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Thanks for saving by the back.
Yeah, it was something in here. But that's another danger area
Okay.
for all of us in performance.
Yeah.
When we're getting close to the end of the piece, it's kind of like part of our brain is saying, all right, I'm almost through to the end. So,
I went from the D straight to the G. I know what you're talking
so you learn after doing that enough times in public performance and having a mishap, that that's going to be a danger area, just like the beginning of a piece often is.
Yeah.
So you want to just kind of give those extra memory work spots like that throughout. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and then a Chopin Doctrine.
Now we have Alvaro Lagasse, the Chopin Doctor.
Yep.
It's 48 number 1.
But there's a
Okay. Yes. Right.
And what's your name?
Alvaro.
I'm still listening.
Alvaro.
Alvaro.
Okay.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Can I do this switch?
Yeah, yes.
Sure.
If you have an extra, yeah.
I'm going to use, so,
Okay. How many minutes do we have?
Just about the same, just about 20 minutes.
is a massive project, isn't it?
Thank
This
you.
piece. Yeah, and you're just, you're right in there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you're planning to learn the rest?
Certainly.
You're planning to learn the
Yeah.
rest? Okay, good, good,
In the
good.
future.
Yeah, in the future, you mean like starting tomorrow, good. So, okay. Well, this is one of Chopin's, in my opinion, one of his great pieces. Yeah, so it's just, I've never played it, actually I've never taught it, but I've listened to it, and you make me want to learn. So I'll tell you, to me, maybe the main thing I'd love to talk with you about is just trying to play it as if it's not difficult. Yeah, how do you do that? Yeah, we don't have time for that. But in other words, to make it sound like it's just easy for you, specifically keeping each phrase from beginning to end, keeping it moving, keeping it coherent. Because right now the technical challenges are interrupting often the flow of melody, right? You probably know that. But, maybe even in the first section, which is maybe not as technically hard, but let's mainly focus on phrasing. So let's start again, and this one small detail. Let's play the first measure. Right. Now, I think this is a very unusual melody because he's written a quarter note and then a rest. To me, I think it's a lot more effective in this piece if it's da, 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 then it continues, right? So you change your pedal. But the second time, it goes, it continues. It's a very subtle thing, but I think it was on purpose.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah. So let's definitely let go of your melody note. This is a very small detail.
Yes.
But let's try it. But then you have to let go of it
Yes.
and change your pedal. Okay. It's good enough. It's not so hard. It's not so hard. Yeah, it's really,
Yeah.
this is not hard. There's plenty of other things that are really hard. There we go. Let's do that phrase one more time. And,
Gotcha, I think.
huh?
I still haven't quite.
There you go. That is a phrase that really had a long trajectory all the way through. Yeah. Let's do the second one.
Sure.
So you're holding the melody with your
Yes.
and you don't have to make letting go of it a big deal. You just let go of it. Okay. There we go. again, a little detail. Main thing is the phrasing that we're working with. You don't want to go. Actually, stop. Sure, that's by itself before you go. So we're not hearing.
Yes.
Small detail.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the next phrase, which is a little tougher technically to
Yes.
keep it moving. Keep it right here by itself. Yes. Now, so this phrase has all these little flourishes.
Yes.
What if you took those away, just for practice, so that you could hear how the phrase, how the skeleton of the phrase keeps moving? Right? So it's so let's try it once if you can. Just like that without the apply those kinds of things to that. The big challenge in this section, this kind of religious, beautiful section, is all these awkward rolls, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So there are probably a few things you can do physically to make those easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go through and just take a couple measures to explore that. You know, like, how do you roll that chord under here?
First one.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, you know, it's just like a batter. If you stop there without a follow through, it's harder.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just stop there, it's going to be harder than. So it's like a little arc. See it? Ready to try it? Okay, let's give it a shot. Just that one.
And we only have a few minutes left.
Okay, like two?
Yeah,
Okay.
2-ish minutes.
Yeah. Now you want it to be soft in this context. If you're doing my concert tonight, the next to last piece on the program, my list has tons of these kinds of rollers. A lot of them are loud, some of them are soft, but big
That's
one,
all.
but it's just tapping each one.
Yeah, you need to know to make these notes sound great.
Yeah, but that's where the follow through helps.
Okay.
Try to come up with some direction instead of jerking going. It's this part.
Yes.
If you're fast, you make an accent. It's just a slow. And at the beginning, you know, a batter too, they kind of, there's a preparation for a tennis player. So you can start on the note, but then,
Okay.
so you ease into it. There you go. So it's not like a sprinter who's in the starting block and then all of a sudden they go. It's like anything we have, that if we're going to play a soft note, it's nicer if we have, like, you take a breath to your hair. Instead of, so it's not, okay, but let's take a couple more that are harder because they're wider. So where's the key? Yeah, like this. Well, that's the same in the left hand. In the right hand? Is that hard?
Not really.
Okay.
It's more the left to combine the right hand and left hand.
Yeah.
I usually do that to, emphasize on a few.
Yep, yep. By the way, try this out. 4. You're doing the follow through. It's easy. See what I'm doing? You just let go of the 5 and do that. But I'm thinking of one, yeah. Yeah, so you do like these right here? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do the right hand on this one chord. That one. Okay, so see that feeling right there? That's what you're aiming for. Watch here. See, it's just kind of this. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And if you just find the coordination with your left hand, it feels very, very good. Yep, it is. I bet we have to wrap it up. Okay, thank you. Good luck. Yeah, good luck with the rest of it. Okay.
Let's have one more round of applause for all of our student performers. One more round of applause for our guest artists tonight. Like I said earlier, hopefully you got something you can take with you from this really great master class. And please come back and join us at 7:30 for the recital.